Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and so I'll be talking about the brand new PTS patch notes for 12.0 that was posted by Saber Interactive like 20 minutes ago. This is going over all the new features for the Tech Marine class, updates to the game, balance changes. We're going to start off here with new features. Number one, we have a new class, Tech Marine. We are introducing a new playable class, the Tech Marine. This mighty technician specializes in crowd control and area defense, handling multiple combat tasks simultaneously. This is primarily possible with his servo gun ability. When activated, it locks onto enemies in a line of sight and automatically fires at them while the Tech Marine continues fighting in melee or range. Furthermore, the servo gun allows executing gun strikes without interrupting other actions. So we knew about this from the previous gameplay breakdown. I will have many more videos coming out in the actual Tech Marine gameplay from the PTS, but for now we'll move on here to the new weapon, Omni-Cyan Axe. With the Tech Marine class, you will also get the chance to try out its signature weapon, the Omni-Cyan Axe. This weapon is capable of dealing massive damage to both a single target with its snared attacks and to surrounding enemies with its finishing heavy attacks. And as a starting heavy attack, you can perform a powerful charge attack that can hit all enemies in its path. So we will be playing with this a bit more, like I mentioned previously. But here we have the new PvE content, the Torrential Sentry Gun. Tech Marines can also locate and activate sentry turrets in PvE missions. These Tarantula type emplacements offer automatic suppressive fire support against nearby enemies. Sentry turrets have limited ammo and will go into standby mode after running out of it, but a Tech Marine can reawaken them to restore supplies. Now, this is the new info here. New PvE map, Disruption. Space Marine forces are deployed to the hive city of Avarax to aid overwhelmed Cadian forces in repelling a massive Tyranid swarm attack. They then join the Dreadnought to eradicate Thousand Suns forces penetrating into the lower levels of the city. So this is another hybrid, or I should say like both factions mission, which we did have a leak of previously. I haven't played this one yet, but we'll have a video on this too shortly. Next we have new PvE equipment, Restorative Stims. The Restorative Stims, a new PvE healing equipment, has been added, encouraging aggressive playstyles. Upon use, it restores an initial small amount of health, then a large amount of contested health over a period of time. This sounds like a worse healing than the stims, but this is an equipment slot item, so it's a little bit different. Like you give up your grenade for this and you get them back on a cooldown. Pretty interesting there. Next is a new feature, shared heads for PvE/PvP characters. Add an option to pick any phase for PvE and PvP characters in armor customization. Class restrictions no longer apply. New tech feature, Siege Host Migration. Support host migration for Siege mode. If a server crash occurs, the game will continue on a new server from the last save state. This is huge because previously Siege mode would break down all the damn time, and this should hopefully fix all those N7 errors. Next, they have new battlefield conditions. 21 new battlefield conditions have been added to expand the variety of daily and weekly stratagems. I mean, the last time they added a bunch, they were pretty damn good, so I haven't checked these out yet, but hopefully they're pretty decent. Next, we have custom challenge mode for PvE. Players can now create private matches with any combination of battlefield conditions. This allows players to customize their games, set their own stratagems, or simply enjoy some lighthearted carnage. And then we have the new heroic items. Add 3 heroic weapons, the combat knife, the Omni-Cyan Axe, and the heavy bolt rifle. Now, the heavy bolt rifle actually has a grenade launcher. We'll talk about this in a bit later, but for now, just know that the Omni-Cyan Axe is primarily just a buff to his charge attacks, and the combat knife, I haven't really checked this one out yet, but we'll be talking about these. You only get 3 around this time rather than 6 because we are getting a brand new class, but so far they seem pretty decent. Next, we have new DLC content, including the Season 2 Pass Raven Guard Champion Pack for Assault Champion plus the Bolt Pistol skin, and the Kakarodone's Chapter Pack. And then we have, not included in any Season Pass, 3 custom heads plus voiceovers for PvE/PvP characters. Now, this is the really important thing here, which is gameplay and balancing tweaks, because some things have been nerfed, some things have been buffed. Number 1, we have PvE perks, tactical balance distribution. Both negative and positive effects are increased from 10 to 15%. And then crack and penetrate rounds. All bolter weapons now deal 50% more damage with body shots. A 50% buff to body shots might still suck ass in this game. I have not practiced this yet or like taken into the testing arena, so who knows? It could be good. It might actually be worth taking this if you're trying to go for like a full range damage build, grenade launchers and stuff like that. Because if this does buff up your range damage on things like the grenade launcher for body shots, because the grenade launcher is range damage. It is just not it has no headshot multiplier, so it could buff that up tremendously. We'll see. Balance distribution, both negative and positive effects increase from 10 to 15%, so this is a little bit better here. It does kind of suck you lose out on secondary damage even further, but having more damage should make it better than plasma boost. Well, not better, but at least like a little bit better in comparison. Next we have sniper efficient readiness, and now the effect lasts 5 seconds after deactivation. I mean, this is still not like an incredible perk. Ambush now force staggers to the enemies. This Perk is still not incredible even with this effect, I'm gonna be honest. And then Vantage Point and Indication when ready. That is nice. It actually has Indication now, but Vantage Point is also not super good. I'm pretty sure this is one that has you sitting there. No, that'd be Primary Target. Either way, a lot of these sniper perks aren't that strong. Next we have Assault. Squad Cohesion effect is increased from 10 to 15%. Still dog shit. Hammer of Wrath is now a Prestige perk replacing Commendation. Hammer of Wrath is a really good perk. That's actually a very, very strong perk in the game. And replacing Commendation, which was a provably dog shit perk for the Prestige perk. The reason they changed this is because Commendation was the you get full armor and jump pack charges immediately off of a revive of your teammate. That is trash, so they straight up removed it, which they really should do to like 90% of the revive perks in this game, but I'm glad they changed this one to something pretty useful. Next they have Strong Strike, a new perk taking the original place of Hammer of Wrath. Hitting an enemy with the jump pack's dash attack restores 1 charge of the ability. Cooldown is 10 seconds. Okay, so the jump pack dash attack finally has a use case scenario beyond like Wings of Flame. This could be very strong with a Wings of Flame build, because even if you miss your jump pack dash with your Wings of Flame, you could then use the jump pack dash attack to restore an entire charge of your jump pack, even if you miss the initial guy. That's a pretty cool option. Wings of Flame might have gotten significantly better with this, so we'll see. And it's also just making it really strong if you're trying to push into enemies with your jump pack dash attack at all. Next, they have Wind Fury. It now works with all stances of the Power Sword. That is nice, even though it was an issue before, but hopefully they fixed it on the Repose perk for Power Axe as well. Now, this is Firearms in PvE. Bolt Rifle. Base damage increased by 10% for all versions. The Drogo's Reclamation, the Artificer, and Beta version. I assume this is the base damage. Okay, that's actually pretty huge, because this weapon was already pretty strong on the accuracy variant. I imagine that this buff is here because the Tech Marine has the Bolt Rifle, and if this thing still continued to suck, it would be unusable on him because he doesn't have any ammo regen built into the class. And next we have the Bolt Carbine Marksman version. Base damage increased by 11% for versions, the Artificer and Relic. Again, Bolt Carbine, I don't think this is even on the new Tech Marine class, but it's nice to have the Marksman version get a buff, because this thing wasn't terrible, but even with the headshot multiplier version, it was definitely lacking behind some of the other options. Inferno Pistol, gunstrike damage is increased by 22%. Oh wow, so Saber Interactive finally realized that the gunstrike damage of the Inferno Pistol was like needlessly dog shit. So we'll see how much this actually does now, because, you know, gunstrike damage is based on a lot of factors, but hopefully this is a substantial increase, because previously the Inferno Pistol hit like a wet fart. Next we have the Volkite Pistol. Gunstrike damage increased by 9%. Okay, I mean, this one's pretty good. The gunstrike damage on the Volkite Pistol is kind of like middle of the road already on the Firepower variant. It's not like a terrible weapon by any means, but having a base damage increase, like, I'll take it to the gunstrike damage, why not? Next we have Equipment in PvE. Sanctified Wrath Reliquary. Bonus to melee damage is increased from 25% to 35%. Effect duration is increased from 15 to 20 seconds. Now, a 35% multiplicative damage buff to a round pound stuff like that is pretty fucking enormous. That's a good perk effect for sure. And effect duration increased from 15 to 20 seconds. I mean, it's all upside here, because the effect duration, if you're unaware, Sanctified Wrath Reliquary will also give you no knockback for that time period. So 20-second uptime and a 35% multiplicative melee damage bonus. That's pretty strong. Not as strong as a Melt Bomb, but definitely good. Next, we have Melee and PvE. Damage of all Artificer and Relic balance type melee weapons increased by about 15% on average. So it seems that they are addressing the lack of damage balanced weapons have in comparison to block, especially considering that their defense type is by far the worst in the entire game. So hopefully that is okay. All right, that's a good change. I assume they're going to have another balance patch around this eventually, but that's definitely a good change. Next, we have PvP. Fix restoring armor by hitting an enemy for the Power Axe. Fix an issue with third attack on the Power Sword combo dealing too much damage. And blindness effect from Shock Grenade is decreased from 2 to 1.5 seconds. I also heard that the FOV, something got fixed as well in PvP this patch with like the FOV and like FOV abuse and stuff like that. Just keep that in mind. And for rewards, Siege Mode, rebalance rewards for waves completion. First 5 waves grant less XP, while later waves grant more XP. Okay, so they have finally addressed the heretical XP truth, because for the longest time, getting XP in Siege Mode in the first 5 waves was just the fastest XP in the entire game. And it just, I mean, there was no level gate, so a level 1 can just run in there and just go do that. But they have changed that officially, which is a good change in my opinion. I mean, I think a better change to this would have just been making it so the siege mode has a level gate for the hard requirement for the hard siege mode. Like you have to go into like level 25 or something like that. But this is definitely an option. This is outside of private mode. Next, stratagems. Hard difficulty stratagems no longer grant XP. Again, I don't know if this is a solution, personally. I think they should just level gate these, because like the point of this is that they don't want low levels in it. So like an easy solution to that, make it so like a low level can't join hard stratagems, like there's a level gate, but they want to go for a 0 XP option instead, which is definitely a deterrent, but you can still find a low level go in anyways for those accolades. But I guess that's why they want to do it. They don't want to like completely level lock them in case somebody is good and like level 1 and they want to get their accolades. Now, next we have gameplay quality of life. Excuse me. Contested health no longer fades away during grab animations. Oh my god. That's huge. That is huge. I guess that's like their temporary fix until they rework the grabs entirely. Rebalance melee attacks that have multiple attacks. Now they restore contested health with each strike instead of just one. Slightly adjusted hitboxes of a few melee attacks so they would connect more easily against large enemies. And fixed an issue where the bolt sniper and last fusel missed their targets at extreme long range. Aim assist at such distances has been slightly increased, and improved properties of bullet magnetism for chaos enemy NPCs, chaos spawn, rubric marines, zangors, and terminators, making them slightly easier to headshot in medium long ranges. Okay. So the bullet magnetism, this is definitely a thing in games like Red Dead Redemption and like most shooters these days, like a hidden quality of life feature in general, where a game will pull bullets into the head of the enemy even if you miss to make it feel like you're hitting headshots. But having a bit of a stickier bullet with that for these hard to hit enemies in the head, that should definitely help out some of these. So that's a great change, especially for things like the heroic bolt sniper. Now here we have the AI, lots of minor fixes with animations and customization. Add and update a few champion parts to the custom armor set pieces. Add the Ultramarines Champion Tabard to Tactical, add the Imperial Fist Champion Tabard to Tactical, add the robes to the Dark Angels Champion Bulwarks chest, add Dark Angels Champion shoulder pads to Heavy, update the White Scars Champion chest on Tactical to include belt accessories, and add the Black Templars Champion shoulder pads to Heavy, and add the Blood Angels Champion shoulder pads and backpack to Bulwark. Okay, so you can properly play a Blood Angels Bulwark now. That's sick. And add an option to switch and apply heroic weapon skins to other weapon tiers. Oh, that's nice. Now you can play a Xenophase blade, like a block version. That's pretty cool. Lots of minor fixes, customization fixes for both Loyalists and Chaos, and levels. Lots of minor fixed level geometry, and general fixes are they have fixed the plasma weapon perk, fast venting, reduces cooling by minus 7.5% instead of 15%. Fixed a bug with a heroic heavy bolt pistol, not interrupting in reinforcements of body shots. This was bugged for like a straight month. Thank God they finally fixed this. And they've also fixed a bug with the controller aim assist rate depending on camera FOV. Okay, this is primarily for like the PvP, because there's like a big problem here where the PvP mode, the controller aim assist was giving players an unfair advantage, and they finally addressed that, so that's great. And lots of minor bug fixes, lots of minor localization bug fixes, and lots of minor UI and sound fixes. And for tech, crash fixes, memory optimization, minor general performances, general connectivity improvements, and DLC content availability on the PTS. If you own a DLC on the game, it'll be available on the PTS, and the DLC content of patch 12 will be visible but not equipable. Features not available on the PTS. The new feature, the voice selector, and the customization for 4 more shared customization slots will be added. So they are doubling the customization slots in the game. That's really, really nice to hear. And they also say, unfortunately, we cannot bring these two features to the PTS. Rest assured they'll be available and functioning when the patch 12 releases. So they're not giving you the custom voices yet. They did push for this. I'm pretty sure the heads are in game, but overall, these are good changes. They didn't really do any nerfs. Primarily, they did a couple nerfs, but for the most part, it was like 90% buffs. That's pretty good. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section below. How do you feel about the updates? Obviously, we're going to have another patch note when the official patch launches, and probably a hot fix in between the official dates for the PTS. But for now, that is what we are having here on the public test server for patch 12.0. So if you like content like this, subscribe for more. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye.